Good morning, everyone. How are you all? Hope you are doing well. Today, I'm going to start with a new topic on vocation. Yesterday, we had completed our chapter 8 Game of Chance. So, we are going to start with a new poem, Vocation. Okay. And the poet is Rabindranath Tagore. Do you know about Rabindranath Tagore? Rabindranath Tagore was a Bengali poet, writer, composer, philosopher, social reformer, and painter. He reshaped Bengali literature, music, as well as an Indian art. He won the Nobel Prize for the Literature in 1913 for his collection Gitanjali, which was published in 1912 in London. The prize gained even more significance to an Indian for the first time. In this poem, Vocation, the speaker is a child, is like you, he came across several kind of people and he thinks about other people. As you know, during our day we meet different kinds of people who are in different kinds of jobs, like some are teachers, actors, etc., etc. Some of us inspire us a lot, right? So let's learn more about the poem Vocation. Here I'm going to share the screen. Okay, so please open your honeysuckle textbook. In that you have to open page number 100, poem 8, Vocation. Okay, so just wait a minute, I'm going to share the screen. Okay, one second. Yeah, hope my screen is visible to you all. Yes. So the name of the poem is Vocation. Okay, and the poet is Rabindranath Tagore. Okay, so let's learn about poem Vocation, and the speaker is a child. As I mentioned before, during our day into school or market, we meet different kinds of people who are in different kinds of jobs, like some are doctors, teachers, cleaners, etc. Now let's learn about the first stanza. Let's see what is. So I'm going to start here. Please listen carefully. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by our lane, every day I made the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. There is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. I wish I were a hawker spending my day in the road, crying, bangles, crystal bangles. So this was our first stanza. Let's see in the first line. When the gong sounds 10 in the morning and I walk to school by our lane. Yes. So one fine morning at 10 o'clock, one fine morning at 10 o'clock, what happened? The child heard a gong sound. What do you mean by gong? That means a large flat piece of a metal that you hit with a hammer to make a sound like a bell. Okay, so child heard a gong sound, which means the signs of a school bell, where it is the first part of the day. So in the next line, we can see every day met, I meet the hawker crying, bangles, crystal bangles. The child hurried to school because the bell rang. When the child is on the way to school, he used to see a hawker. He used to see a hawker. Hawker means a salesman, a person who travels about selling goods, typically advertising them by or shouting. Okay, so salesman, hawker means a salesman. Okay, he used to sell his goods, typically advertising or by shouting. He used to see a he would shout bangles, crystal bangles. The hawker was selling the bangles without any stress. So here you can see in this line, there is nothing to hurry him on. There is no road he must take, no place he must go to, no time when he must come home. That means a child is thinking that he used to sell his bangles without any pressure, without any time restrictions. He is very free. He is enjoying this job. Okay, so yes, in the next line, you can see, I wish I were a hawker. So the child want to be a hawker here. The child want to be a hawker where the hawker doesn't have any timing restrictions and he is so free to go wherever he wants. So the child wished to become a hawker. He wished to become a hawker, and so that he can happily sell the bangles on the road by shouting without any stress of going to school on time and coming back home. Understood? Is that clear to everyone? Yes, in the first line, the child wished to become a hawker. He thinks that the hawker is very free. He is enjoying his job. He don't have any time restrictions. He can sell his bangles by shouting without any stress and of going to school on time and coming back home. He doesn't have any timing restrictions. So in the first stanza, we have learned that the child wished to become a hawker. Okay, now let's move on to the second stanza. Let's see. Before that, I'm going to erase this. Just wait a minute. Okay. So so we have completed our first. Now let's see in the second stanza. When at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, I can see through the gate of that house the gardener digging the ground. He does what he likes with his spade. He soils his clothes with the dust. Nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. I wish I were a gardener digging away at the garden with nobody to stop me from digging. Just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed. Okay, sorry, this was our next stanza. So, when at 4 in the afternoon I come back from the school, sorry. In the evening at 4 o'clock, when the child was returning home, in the evening, in the evening at 4 o'clock, when the child was returning home from the school, he noticed a gardener. What he noticed? He noticed a gardener who was digging the ground. The gardener was digging the ground and he didn't notice that the soil had spoiled his clothes. You can see here, he didn't notice that his soil had spoiled his clothes with dust. The gardener's clothes are stained with dirt where he won't answer anyone because the child thought that the gardener is very happy and he is not aware of the gardener's struggle of digging the soil and getting sweat, and he wished to be a gardener so that he can work very happily. Okay, so here in this stanza, he wished to become a gardener, thinking that gardener is enjoying his job without knowing that how much struggle gardeners are facing, but he is unaware of that, and he thinks that he is doing a good job without any time restrictions. Okay, is that clear to everyone? So here in the second stanza, what happened after After back to school, he saw a gardener who is digging the ground, and the gardener had spoiled his clothes. He saw that the gardener's clothes are stained with the dirt where he won't answer anyone because the child thought that the gardener is so happy with his work, but the child is not aware of the gardener's struggle of digging the soil and getting sweat in the hot. You can see here, nobody takes him to task if he gets baked in the sun or gets wet. So that means getting sweat in the hot sun for long hours. The child, he can have different options to do the work, but that would never stop him. Is that clear to everyone? In the next stanza, let's see. So that's all. In the second stanza, the child wished to become a gardener. Now let's see in the next stanza. Just as it gets dark in the evening and my mother sends me to bed, I can see through my open window the watchman walking up and down. The lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The watchman swings his lantern and walks with his shadow at his side and never once goes to bed in his life. Yes, this is the last stanza of this poem. In the first stanza, the child wished to become a hawker. In the second stanza, he wished to become a gardener. Let's see in the third stanza what happens. So, The sky got dark. Here the sky got, you can see here, just as it gets dark, the sky got dark, and the child's mother made him sleep in his room. There was an open window. Okay, you can see, I can see through my open window. There was an open window in the child's room from where he could see a watchman. He can see a watchman. What he was doing, he was walking outside in the dark with a lamp. Okay, now, the watchman was walking in the dark, lonely street. You can see here the lane is dark and lonely, and the street lamp stands like a giant with one red eye in its head. The watchman was walking in the dark, lonely street where he could see the shadow through his lamp light and would never sleep in the night all his life. Okay, now here in the stanza, giant. Giant means, what do you mean by giant? An imaginary being of human form, but Superman size. Okay. Red eye. A giant with one red eye. What do you mean by red eye? Caused by a reflection from the retina when the flash gun is near the camera lens. Is that clear? Giant means a superhuman size. Red eye means caused by a reflection from the retina when the flash gun is near the camera lens. Is that clear? So, the watchman was walking in the dark, lonely street where he could see his shadow through his lamp and would never sleep all night his life. Now, let's see. The watchman, I wish I were a watchman walking the street all night, chasing the shadows with my lantern. So, moreover, the watchman was doing his job without fear. The child thinks that the watchman is so comfortable and living a happy life, so the child wished to be a watchman where he can walk all the street at night and enjoy his companion through his lamplight without any fear. So in the third stanza, child wished to become a watchman. The child thinks that he wished to be a watchman where he can walk all the street and at night and enjoy his companion through his lamplight without any fear. So he thinks that watchman's job is very, very, very comfortable. Okay, so that's all about this poem. Hope it was very interesting to you all. So in the first stanza, he wished to become a, what he wished to become? Hawker. And in the second stanza, he wished to become a gardener, and in the second stanza he wished to become a watchman. Okay, so that's all for today. Hope this poem is was clear to you all. Okay, just 1 minute, I will stop the screen sharing. Yes, so that's all for today. Hope you have understood the poem. That's all for today. Bye everyone, see you tomorrow.